Alright, back out here in the industrial park. Just got through with the FMS Super EZ. Now we're going to go with the E-flite Apprentice S15e. Two favorite planes that I got. I'm going to be taking off in expert mode. This has a little bit of a whacked out landing gear. Oh, that was actually not expert mode, that was beginner mode. There's intermediate. There's acro or expert. I'll break the neck on that one. If this Apprentice came with the option of putting on a solid landing gear instead of those little wires, I don't like the wired ones. It makes it really hard to control in grass, because they have so much spring to them, and wind gets up underneath the wingtip, it wants to rock it over and stuff. It's just a lot harder to control on the ground. Now, with that said, it's the most forgiving landing gear you can get when you're bouncing it in, because it has so much spring in it. So what's a plus when you're rolling, when you're landing, is a minus when you're trying to taxi. But if it had a solid landing gear in a tail dragger configuration from the factory, this would be about the perfect plane, I think, because it does it all. Short of pattern or 3D flying, this would be the go-to plane, especially if you made a couple of mods to it. Put the 25 size motor instead of the 15, for example. Give it a lot more power. This plane does have a couple of drawbacks. One is the tail section. It's not very well engineered, and they're definitely designed to fail. I don't think when they came up with that plan that they wanted it to last an indefinite period of time. It cracks right along the mounting point on the vertical stabilizer. You'll see people at the field with them supported with popsicle sticks or old credit cards, library cards, stuff like that. But it ultimately has to be replaced from time to time. They're not expensive. I think they're around $20 for both the vertical and the horizontal combined, along with the mount on it. So it's not terribly expensive, and you'll get 3 or 4 months worth of use out of it, unless you tip it over or something, cause any impact damage. Any decent impact damage, it will crack it right at the baseline. It's a pretty durable plane though. I have wrecked this thing so many times. I've pulled it out of a tree twice. One of them, it was 20 feet in the air. I had to cut down a sapling with a pocket knife about a 2-inch diameter sapling that was nice and straight, about 18 feet. That was about 15 foot long on the sapling. All I had with me was a pocket knife. I cut that sapling down. Took me about 30 minutes to cut that off at the base, and then shave the branches off so it's a nice straight pole. Climb the tree, you know, a good 10 feet up, 8 feet up, something like that. I'd sit there and poke and poke and poke with that stick until I could knock it out of the tree. And I was a good 700-800 yards into the woods. Got the plane back to the bench. Somebody looked over and said, couldn't find the landing gear, huh? Ah, darn it. Traipse back the 700 yards back to the same tree, look around, look around, look around. 20 minutes later, bingo, there's the landing gear laying up in a tree branch. You can take the gear off of this completely and just do hand launches with it. So if you don't have a suitable field or a street or something to use, and all you got is, say, a big grass field like what's in front of us, just take the main gear just pops right out. That's no problem. Your nose gear's got one, I think it's one screw, I can't remember, holding it in. Just take it off, and this thing launches very well with a hand launch. Real easy, no problems. Almost flies right out of your hand. Let's give us a slow pass here and see what it looks like. Alright, there's no throttle. Now, this one, if you go into the panic mode when you're a foot off the ground with no throttle, it almost lands itself. So let me get straight. That didn't work. That actually hit the prop when it came in. Alright, let's see how smooth we can get it on this concrete. Concrete will force you to fly your plane in. There's 1 or 2 clicks of throttle, too hard. That was too rapid of a descent. Come around again. Let's see how smooth we can make it. You got waved off. Too far away to tell, so coming around again. Here's our timer. I have the timer set at 10 minutes on this, flying a standard E-flite 3200 milliamp. But the plane will actually fly for about 13, 14 pretty safely. 15 if you're not using any massive throttle. Alright, here we go. One more time, I don't like that. Well, still not as smooth as it should be, but these gears are kind of cheesed out from a hard crash that it took. Bent them all up, so it's kind of even hard to steer it on the ground. Alright, super easy, and this was the Apprentice on this flight, and that's the only two I'm going to get up today. And I think I am going to call it a day. I have to go and pick up my mother. I think she is wanting to buy a car. So, the last 2 Saturdays in a row, I have been driving her around town to various car lots to try to find her a new set of wheels. And she's pretty particular about what she wants, so the search has not been easy. But you can't blame her. Cars nowadays are just so expensive. To get one with features that you want, you can pretty much expect to drop about $30,000. So when you start spending that kind of money, you should have some kind of an expectation to get what the hell you want to get. Alright, thanks for watching.